the line, which you're not going to get away with soft defence on your line like that in Super League.
Well, when you talk about stretching the field, that fucking Tom Johnston try assist for Corey Hall's try, that was insane.
I had to watch it back 3 times because I still was convinced he must have been in touch, but he wasn't.
No, I think his foot was maybe on the player that was in touch, maybe, or something to how he kept elevated. But the adjustment to realise that he couldn't score when he's done that so many times himself in that sort of spectacular way, fling it back inside instead, all whilst like keeping himself miraculously elevated, it was brilliant. A couple of bits of news that seem kind of a bit boring compared to Tom Johnston's acrobatics. Ellis Robson from Toulouse got a grade B dangerous contact crusher charge in this match, a 1-match penalty notice for him on that one. And Wakefield have signed Morgan Escaray, or re-signed, probably we should say, on a 2-week loan deal from Salford. So the 30-year-old former Wigan fullback previously played for the club during a loan spell in the 2019 season. And he's back, cover for Max Jowett.
Yeah.
And Salford, it sounds like, wanted to get him off the wage bill for a couple of weeks.
Did Jowett get injured, or...?
He got suspended, didn't he? He got a 2-game ban for throwing his knees into Harry Newman's head.
I was really, early in the season when we played them in our place, I was really impressed by Jowett. So I'll be surprised if Esquer gets past him. But anyway, there we go. At least it gives some coverage for next week.
Yeah, I think he'll be back at Salford after that. Then it's obviously a small squad Wakefield are trying to manage with this year in certain positions. And yeah.
Hey.
Salford versus Hull KR, that was also played on Friday night. 3,950 were at this one. Jack Smith was the referee. It was 18-0 to Hull KR at half-time. 3 of the games this week, by the way, were 18-0 at half-time. That's weird, isn't it? But 26-16 is how it finished. 3% better team tackle success rate and half as many penalties conceded, 4-8 on that count. They were big stat wins for Hull KR, who also managed more metres and an extra break. 7 tries in the game, but only 5 clean breaks. Kind of tells you that there was a few tries from kicks, I guess.
Yes, indeed. And for the winning team, the indefatigable Ryan Hall, 152 metres. Easy for me to say. Frankie Holton, 1 try assist, 129 metres. And Sean Kenny-Dowell, 102 metres. The fella keeps going. For the losing side, Ken Seo, not surprisingly, 1 try, 209 metres and 2 clean breaks. Andy Ackers, 44 tackles and 10 marker tackles. James Greenwood, 44 tackles. And Alex Gerrard, 42 tackles. We only had one fan view on this, and it was from one of our favourite subscribers, Tom Andrews.
Yeah.
Who said,
Tom said, did our best to throw it away, but a win is a win. Concerning lack of speed in the team when you have Snide running 80 metres untouched. Loved the bit of Mikey Magic. Imagine what he could do behind a Saints pack. Eyes to the face. Is he guessing that he's going to end up at Saints for some reason?
I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
Wouldn't have thought so.
No.
Again, I only saw this on the highlights, Mark. There were some very easy-looking tries to me anyway, particularly in the first half. But Salford are a funny side this year, aren't they? Because they started like a house on fire, but they seem to have gone to where I thought they might be before, or feared they might be before the start of the season now. They look pretty average at the moment.
Yeah, they definitely do. And goal line defence, like you say, is a bit of a challenge for them. A few poor efforts close to their own line from Salford. There was one where Sneed dropped it in the goal as well, wasn't that? Didn't help things.
No.
Although he made up for it a bit with that great break he made that Tom referred to for the Joe Burgess try. I don't know if you saw this on the highlights, but Burgess seemed to slip as he was crossing the line. It could have been a bit of a balls up comedy moment, couldn't it? But he managed to get the ball down anyway.
Yeah, he did. I thought that was one of the best tries I saw this week. I thought it was really nice bit of work. They kept his. I can't remember who made the break now. I can't remember
Mark
who made
Snide,
the break.
yeah.
No, Snide made the break and kept his head really well to bring Budgie on the inside. It was a nice bit of work, I thought that.
I also thought Mikey Lewis trying to recreate his playoff try against Warrington was a nice bit of work, wasn't it? That try he scored was at the back end of the first half. That one, and he scored a bit of good support play, didn't he, as well? The try that sealed the game, I suppose, in a way. So he had another good game, young Mikey Lewis. Another thing, when I was watching the highlights of this game, that occurred to me, Salford's first score was a try from a scrum, wasn't it? And it feels like attacks have adjusted to having the return of scrums way better than defences have across the league. Because although most tackle one plays don't end up in a try from a scrum, it seems to be happening quite a lot in attacking positions. There was one in your game as well, wasn't there? Wigan scored 2 or 3 this year.
Yeah, Percival scored from the scrum against Warrington,
Yeah, but happening on play one, like, it just seems quite common. I wonder if that'll defences will sharpen up and catch up again as the season goes on. But you've got to think so. You've got to think so. Although I thought in our game, to be honest, it was a poor defensive effort by Matautia rather than anything particularly special that was happening from the scrum. But there you go. Yeah. It's just something to keep an eye on as it keeps happening. Right, but on to another TV game, so tons of fan reviews on this one as well. St Helens Warrington. It was 12-2 to the Saints at half-time. It was 28-2 in the end. 16,118, nearly a full house at the Totally Wicked. Chris Kendall was the referee. In terms of the team stats, 486 more metres made at 2.1 metres per carry better average gain. Although an extra error, an extra penalty, and a worse team tackle success rate says that Saints were maybe not at their full best, they still were good and more than good enough. 3 breaks by each side, but Warrington could only make 757 metres at 5.3 metres per carry. So another team being kept under 800 metres by St Helens this season. It's just phenomenally imposing defence, even when the referee was trying to give offside penalties in this one. But the problem is Warrington turned up offside as well.
They did, even more than we did in the first half, as poor old Williams found out. For the magnificent winning Saints, Tommy Makinson, 2 tries, 145 metres and 2 clean breaks. He's really enjoying playing on the left outside Percival, I can tell you. Mark Percival, 1 try, 1 try assist, 7 tackle busts and 117 metres. That was his best game for us this season. And Will Hopawate, 101 metres for the losing team. Matty Ashton, 6 tackle busts and 105 metres. Ollie Holmes, 45 tackles, 14 from Marker. And Jack Hughes, 48 tackles, 13 from Marker.
At Mike Webb 58 said, the now usual pattern. Big effort from Wire to match Saints for 20 minutes, but the strain of that led to mounting supremacy for the remaining 60. Curtis Simonon beginning to look menacing. No dancing with Sione for a few weeks. Suspension incoming and hamstring. Yeah, his suspension. He got a grade B high tackle, reckless high tackle charge, 2-match penalty notice. I assume that was for the one he got sin-binned on, where he's threw his shoulder into George Williams' head.
It wasn't. Was it classified as a high tackle? I thought it was late.
I think it was given us late, but he hit him in the head as well. I think he's probably got away with grade B if it's late and high.
Bollocks! It was not a high tackle. It was definitely late. It wasn't a high tackle, and not in my book. I mean, I've watched it several times, but it wasn't a high tackle. It was late. He deserved to be sin binned from it. As it happens, the suspension's irrelevant because he's probably out for a month, I think.
Yeah, but it is a shame because he has been playing really well, hasn't he? And also, it means that you don't get to sing your song that me and Sarah were hoping you would sing this week.
I think you might find we'll sing it anyway.
No, I mean you personally on the show now. That's what we were hoping for.
No. No, I'm not gonna do that. Maybe if I'd had another glass of wine by now, I might.
We'll try later on then.
Maybe later. But Curtis Suranen, I think, will come and play. come to play. And as Mike was saying, he missed all his pre-season. He was stuck in Italy with COVID things, but he's really starting to look like a signing for us. Callum Percy 99 says Saints far too good. Helped by an absolutely awful Wire side. Couldn't believe how many errors and penalties there were. Shaping up nicely for the Good Friday derby if both teams are unbeaten. Hope I haven't spoke too soon.
Yeah, you have, Callum.
Yeah, grimacing face.
EFC78JU said, was not the best result, and also I called a 3-win and 2-defeat record before the game, as we cannot defend at all, as Saints absolutely bloody dominated the game, as we only got points off a penalty from Ratchford in the first half, and we just got stopped near the try line. As we were making progress back to winning ways next game, as the next 3 will be against relegation battling teams.
Frogmore said, the march onto undefeated glorious glory meant the game gave up the result that was never in doubt. Great to see King Jack always chasing the ball, ready to score. T-Mac tightrope walking the sideline for a double, but the best was, as I was saying, we should score again just to take the piss. Lomax grabs a try off a falcon. I'm not quite sure what the falcon bit means, but
when the ball hits someone's head.
That's called a falcon.
It was originated because a try was scored in Australia in the 80s, I think it must have been. Is it Mario Finec? It came off his head, went into the goal, and he scored a try. And so, because his nickname was the Maltese Falcon,
it's become known as a falcon.
I think that's the genesis of it. Yeah.
That's brilliant piece of knowledge. You should have stuck that in a quiz somewhere, Mark. I haven't. But what was interesting was that was the second time in 2 sets that Warrington hit one of their own players from dummy half. It was that by that stage George Williams was just running round in circles. It was not a pretty sight.
No, they'd gone, hadn't they? The Reds had
they're
gone.
Completely gone by the end. Mint Cake's whistle. I've not heard that one before.
It's a parody, isn't it? It's Chris Kendall.
It must be. Of course. Mum said I looked really nice on the telly last night, and it was good to prove I don't need Liam's help to spoil a game. I've said sorry Sione's yellow so they can say I can ref them again. Made up for coming up with a yellow for offside, which was interesting, then forgot to do it again. Let Tommy off with his tap, as he's an all-round nice guy. Hope they invite me on the open top bus. I think this might be a bitter Wire fan. Might be.
Well, there's the Liam Moore and Kendall reference. It could be a Hull fan as well, don't forget.
Could be a Hull fan, yeah. Could be a bitter Hull fan.
Because I'm sure we've had Mint Cake's whistle before as a person giving fan reviews. Pop the Viking said, a good game to watch with Saints, just too good for a spirited Warrington team.
Rich Owen says, Wire started okay, but ultimately St Helens' quality and power took over. In the second half, we had no go forward, which made the back start spreading the ball from everywhere, leading to mistakes, which Saints punished. Huge gap between the two teams at the moment, which is disappointed. Improvement needed.
Yeah, we mentioned Matauti as grade B. We should also mention Joe Philbin got a grade A dangerous contact for a drop tackle. Grade A first offence in the last 2 years, I guess it is for him. No penalty notice anyway. No matches on his penalty notice. Anyway, so yeah, I've made a couple of notes, but it's mostly for you to talk about this one, I'm sure, David.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we were too good for them. It started off as a competitive game. They kicked a penalty, we kicked one back, and then we just started to restrict their ability to make yards down the middle. I don't think Wire's pack. I've said this on a previous show, I think, and I actually said it, I think, pre-season. I don't think Wire's pack is all that. And I guess against Saints pack, that's going to tell in the end. Personally, I think Wire must be scratching their head a little bit at the moment and wondering why they let Chris Hill go, because he's looking like he's playing well for Huddersfield to me, and they're lacking the sort of go forward. I've never been a huge Chris Hill fan, and I thought it was a bit of a shithouse the last 2 years at Wire, but I think they're missing his go forward. I think they'd really benefit from seeing some of that right now, because they certainly didn't have that against us.